Hey, what's up, BTC Movies? Me, Guy01, and welcome to this week's versus episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's Eddie Guerrero versus Miz. It is our weekly birthday versus, and we actually had quite a few birthdays this past week, so I'm going to get through those before we get into Raw and SmackDown and Bad Blood. So, beginning with The Miz, his birthday was October 8th, he turned 44. October 9th was Eddie Guerrero's birthday, he would have turned 57. Crazy to think that, it's kind of weird, because a year 57, like he would have turned 57. I was like, oh, so he was pretty young when he passed. And then you remember he passed away 19 years ago. So he wasn't even 40 when he passed away. And that, really puts it into perspective of, oh, wow, he was really young when he passed away. It's just one of those things that's just, one of wrestling's greatest losses. October 10th, Dragunov turned 31. Yesterday, October 11th, there were a few birthdays that day, including Rhea Ripley, who turned 28. Kind of crazy to think that, she's only 28 and all the stuff she's already done. October 11th was also Dusty Rhodes' birthday. He would have turned 79. And October 11th was also Rikishi's birthday. He turned 59. So let's get into Bad Blood, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So of course the opening match of Bad Blood was Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk in Hell in a Cell, which is so kind of crazy to me to think that that was the first match of the show. Probably what was arguably the best match, kicked it off. The match itself was a very good Hell in a Cell match. And I mean, it was old school Hell in a Cell. Very brutal, a lot of weapons, a lot of blood. A lot of blood. Mainly from Drew McIntyre, who got busted open from the corner of a metal toolbox, and I think he got cut a bit deeper than they meant to. It looks like he got gashed, but he fought through it, and they put on just a great Hell in a Cell match. And this is real Hell in a Cell, not what we've been getting for past 10-15 years. So it's definitely, we're definitely out of the PG era, and we're definitely in this new era. CM Punk ended up winning after wrapping a steel chain around his knee and hitting Drew McIntyre with one last go to sleep. Which is a very hard hitting and just very good Hell in a Cell match. Here we go. Nia Jax beat Bayley in order to obtain the WWE Women's title with some assistance from Tiffany Stratton. Damian Priest beat Finn Balor, which I don't think was ever in question, but it was really how they did it. This was something I said, or I've been saying, where WWE is really trying to legitimize, the other members of the Judgment Day after Rhea and Priest left, and this result undid basically everything they were trying to do, because not only did Damian Priest beat Finn Balor, he was also able to incapacitate, JD McDonough and Carlito, who were at ringside. So it's like, come on, it's like when three guys can't beat one guy, you got a problem there. Oh no. Ow. Going to the top. Yeah, that's me. Don't go to the top, Miz. Stick with what you know. Liv Morgan faced Rhea Ripley for the women's world title. It was going exactly how you thought it should. Liv Morgan was actually doing a pretty good job fighting off Rhea Ripley, trying to make it an even fight using Rhea's emotions. It was going pretty well until Dominic Mysterio somehow managed to get out of the shark cage that he was suspended in. This distracted Rhea Ripley, who went over to Dominic and started beating the crap out of him with the kendo stick as he hung from the cage, or the shark cage. This left Rhea Ripley vulnerable for Raquel Rodriguez to attack, causing a disqualification and allowing Liv Morgan to retain her title. And as soon as that finish happened, first of all, Raquel Rodriguez returned, which was the main thing. Raquel Rodriguez returned after being gone for months, assisted Liv Morgan to get the win, but not in the way WWE apparently originally intended. Immediately after the show, rumors started going around that the finish of the match was different than what was originally planned, and it came down to the interference. So apparently the original idea was to have the referee distracted when Raquel Rodriguez returned and attacked Rhea Ripley, allowing Liv to either get like a roll-up or some kind of cheap win. But the timing got messed up, or something happened where they basically couldn't justify. Basically, the ref was in a position where they saw the whole thing, and they couldn't justify not disqualifying Liv Morgan, or calling for the bell. So the plan was always to have Liv retain, but I don't think it was by DQ was the original plan. Triple H came out and made an announcement that at Crown Jewel there will be 2 champion versus champion matches, pitting whoever is the World Heavyweight Champion, whether it's Gunther or Sami Zayn after their match on Raw, and Cody Rhodes, whether it's either Gunther or Sami Zayn will face WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel in a champion versus champion match. And then there would also be the 2 women's champions would face each other in another champion versus champion match. But when the world champion and WWE champion fight each other, they're not just fighting each other just to fight each other, they are fighting each other for a championship. But they won't be fighting for, the WWE or World Championship. They'll be fighting each other for the Crown Jewel Championship, which he then unveiled to the crowd, and it's actually a pretty cool looking title. A lot better than the greatest Royal Rumble championship that we've only seen on TV once, and it was never brought up again. This title actually looks pretty nice. Whether it becomes a regular title or one that gets addressed after the show is over, we'll have to wait and see. So this announcement actually ended up bringing out Gunther, who came out and began trash-talking Goldberg, who was sitting in the front row. This led to Goldberg jumping the barricade and confronting Gunther. He didn't actually attack Gunther. He left that for Sami Zayn, who jumped Gunther and took him out to close out the segment. And in the main event, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns faced Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And just when it looked like the Bloodline numbers game was going to get the best of Reigns and Cody, a mystery figure appeared at ringside. Before a mystery figure wearing a hoodie and a bandana over his face. That figure then took out Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa before unmasking and revealing himself to be the returning Jimmy Uso, who has not been seen since WrestleMania, or the week after WrestleMania, when he was taken out by Solo Sikoa for failing to beat Jey Uso. He took out the Bloodline, which gave Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes the opening to beat Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. So that one is already pretty big enough. They returned to Jimmy Uso, and not only did he return, but he also reunited with Roman. And just when it looked like the show was about to go off the air, with Roman and Jimmy and Cody Rhodes celebrating, The Rock returned and then stared down Cody and Roman Reigns. And then the show went off the air. So we got Raquel Rodriguez, Jimmy Uso, and The Rock all returning. So that was fun. And now the Bloodline Civil War can kick off for real. Because now we've got Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso back together. We've got Solo Sikoa leading the new Bloodline. And now we've also got The Rock, who, as the show was going off the air, seemingly signaled to Roman Reigns that he's coming for him next. Then we move on to Raw, and this was the first 2-hour Raw, post the 3-hour show era. Jey Uso beat Xavier Woods to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Xavier Woods, who was frustrated, refused to shake Jey Uso's hand after the match. Braun Breaker then came out and attacked Jey Uso, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston, who was at ringside to support Woods, seemingly turning around and turning heel again after turning face last week or 2 weeks ago when he shook Jey Uso's hand in a sign of good faith. So, not sure entirely what that's entirely about. Maybe WWE decided that it would be better to keep him heel than, turn him face and have him, continue feuding with Jey Uso for the Intercontinental title. I don't know. It was just a really quick 180, and it just feels like WWE got cold feet and changed their mind on how they wanted to present Braun Breaker. Sheamus beat Pete Dunne in a Donnybrook match, and just another great match from Sheamus. It probably would have been better for Dunne to win. I mean, Sheamus is at this point similar to some other people where he can lose as many times as you need him to, and he'll always stay, legitimate and always be seen as a legitimate threat. And this felt like something where Dunne could have, benefited from a win more than Sheamus needed it or needed to win. Uh-oh. Ow. Alright, calm down. Ow. Wait. Get off me. Uh-oh. Alright, no. And here we go. Going for a ride. Gory bomb. Next match on Raw was a big 10-woman tag team match. This was the first time that WWE is still trying to figure out how to really how to work with this new 2-hour format. Because with losing an hour, you lose time to showcase certain people. So this match definitely felt like WWE's attempt to get as many of their female wrestlers on TV as possible, without taking up too many segments and too much TV time. So in this match, Natalya, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, Zelina Vega, and Lyra Valkyria beat Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn in a 10-woman tag team match. And in the main event, Gunther beat Sami Zayn to retain the World Heavyweight Championship, and what was just another great match from Gunther. Once again, I have no problem with Gunther being like the TV match guy. It is a little weird that now he's the World Heavyweight Champion and he's still like only defending his title on free TV and not pay-per-views. But hey, you're getting a title match on free TV like every other week, so can't really complain. One thing I did forget to mention was that after Bad Blood went off the air last night, or the night before Raw, or 2 nights before, backstage footage showed Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes backstage in the parking lot. So, looks like WWE went the traditional route and turned Kevin Owens heel on Cody Rhodes. But the way they did it was actually pretty cool, not having it done on the actual show, but having it done in a backstage segment that wasn't even broadcasted. It was announced that Kevin Owens had attacked Cody Rhodes, like, on social media. So that was a cool way of presenting that. But that leads into SmackDown, which began with LA Knight beating Carmelo Hayes to retain the United States title, after some interference from Andrade Cien Almas. Randy Orton then came out and confronted Kevin Owens, who was going off on Cody Rhodes. This then led to a verbal confrontation, which then led to a backstage assault on Orton by Kevin Owens. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair retained their tag team titles against Lash Legend and Jakara Jacksong, two newer competitors in WWE. Naomi beat Nia Jax thanks to some interference from Liv Morgan, who attacked Nia Jax with Tiffany Stratton's Money in the Bank briefcase. After the match, Rhea Ripley made a surprise appearance, attacking Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and even big bootying Nia Jax. And in the main event, Solo Sikoa beat Jimmy Uso. After the match, the Bloodline had beat down Jimmy Uso, which brought out Roman Reigns, who was initially able to take out the Bloodline, but the numbers game caught up to him, and the Bloodline took out Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso to close out the show. And that was Raw and SmackDown. So going into Crown Jewel, we've got Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for sure, and as of now we have Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. And 2 champion versus champion matches, so those should be fun. But yeah, so Bad Blood was a really good show. Just a lot of good matches, a lot of good, advancements in the story. There were some things there where, the Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan thing probably got a little overbooked. At the end, you probably could have just left Dominic Mysterio in the cage the whole time and just had Raquel come out and just outright attack Rhea Ripley in order to save Liv's title. Probably wasn't necessary to have Dominic get involved and, attempt this more complicated finish where Raquel attacks Rhea Ripley and then leaves her for Liv to beat. It probably just would have been better if Raquel, which is basically what ended up happening, where Raquel just, caused a disqualification outright by attacking Rhea. And of course there's the whole thing with the Judgment Day where they're just really struggling to be seen as legitimate when they can't beat one person, no matter how many numbers they have against them. So WWE's really going to have to work hard to keep them as a legitimate threat, especially since they're the main faction on Raw. So we'll have to see what they do there, but, CM Punk versus Drew was great. Whether they end up finishing, or if that's the end of the rivalry, or they continue it, we'll have to see. And then the whole thing with the Bloodline, man. Paul Heyman's right, we're not even halfway done. So, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Bad Blood, as well as what you guys thought of Raw and SmackDown this past week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And make it as of the time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus, and next week where we continue our Batman Arkham Knight walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Guy01 and Eddie Guerrero signing out. Bye, guys.